This actual play is intended for mature audiences and contains themes some viewers may find upsetting. Please check each episode's show notes for specific content warnings and enjoy the show with care.
The Old Fire.
Narrate a flashback to the moment you realized you had fallen in love with the person you saved. What small, quiet gesture revealed what your discipline had tried to hide? Fenwyn and Rhea sit wordlessly in the glade. They are both exhausted. They are both spattered with blood, mud, and grime. This life, if you can call it that, is hard. Running is hard. Being hunted is hard. They sit and eat a meager portion of grilled rabbit. Silently, they both look gaunt. And Rhea looks at Fenwyn, and she knows that he looks about as bad as she's ever seen him. He doesn't show much. He doesn't give much. And she catches his eye, and she signs, "You okay?" And he cracks a smile. It's forced. And just says, "I'm just tired." And he closes his eyes and leans back against the tree that he's sitting at. Tries to catch something resembling sleep. And he can hear a vague twinkle. He knows that in this part of the world, superstitious folk would hang mirrors and wind chimes from the branches, and he can hear those dancing on what he also knows is a desert wind. They've been going a long time, but he doesn't feel any closer to home. He opens his eyes, and Rhea is stood over him. The moon is forcing its way through the cloud. It's lighting her face down one side in blue, the other in red. She smiles softly, says, "Shall we dance?" And even though she can't hear the twinkling of the mirrors and the wind chimes, she pulls him to his feet, and the two lockstep and start to move slowly around the glade as the moons intensify. The twinkling is interrupted by a Fenwyn knows what that sound is. He opens his eyes and he sees 3 silver hummingbirds tracing mercurial ribbons around them as they dance. He knows that means desert orchids are near, which means he's closer to home than he thought he ever would be. And as the moons glow brighter and they dance, Fenwyn, who moves like ink in water, who lives shadow to shadow, who for the first time in his entire life feels like he can be seen. And for the first time in his entire life, he doesn't care.
The startup session. Let's recap our active mysteries, which are the Branch-Torn Knight and the Umber Slade. On the Branch-Torn Knight, you have one question: how can you prove yourself worthy to the Branch-Torn Knight? It's a complexity 6, and that unlocks the opportunity to actually travel to the Vine-Hearted Chapel to be tested by the Branch-Torn Knight, which is a struggle. You have 4 clues currently, and you have 2 marks on your countdown. The Umber Slade. What lost oath keeps the shepherds tethered to the Umber Slade? That's a complexity 8. You have 1 clue currently and no countdowns. Taking a look at our embers. Ash, you are marked by the Black Cortege, and you are friend of the Luminians. Did you take an advancement last time?
I did not.
Do you have any particular scenes or moves you'd like to get done today? I'll remind you all that you have an opportunity to get on Pale Crossing and go to the Morning Tower since a mystery was resolved. So,
I'm interested to interact with Calyxe. I feel like that will be something.
Maybe on a dreary boat. Sounds good to me. Theia, you are marked by the court of the Sun Queen. You are burned, and you have this quote: "The time of the Wolf King is ending." 3 really bad conditions. They're not great. Did you take an advancement last time?
I did. I took a new move.
Oh, fantastic. What'd you take? Tell us about it.
It is called It Giveth.
Oh, fantastic. Oh, this is the one where you get to inspire another ember with your words. Well, we'll see how that goes if you ever use it. Did you have any particular moves or scenes you want to have today?
No, except that I did get all the way over to red last session. So
let's resolve that. Yeah.
Something with that.
Under the 2 moons. If the marker reaches red regar, you'll reset to the middle. You take the condition ferocious. Oh, you already have 3 conditions, don't you?
Yes.
Go ahead and replace. What are we going to replace here? Go ahead and replace marked by the court of the Sun Queen with ferocious. Okay. However, in doing that though, because you already had 3, you must also stoke the fire. So do that as well.
Okay. Can I mark the shrine fire?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, you can mark that instead of the fire to come with the old fire.
Okay.
That one says you'll narrate a flashback to a time when your song offended the Wolf King. That feels about right now. You can do that next session, of course, in the normal way. Let's continue with this move, though. So you take that condition, ferocious, and then you get to choose 3 of the following. Decrease your composure by 1 and increase your vitality by 1. Decrease your reason by 1 and increase your presence by 1. Unmark all aspects on a relic or piece of equipment that is a weapon, or unmark the Tinder Arch if it is marked.
Oh, but the Tinder Arch is so fun and terrifying.
If you unmark it, it gets to happen again. So if you unmark it, you can mark it again, right? That's the idea.
Right.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to unmark all the aspects on the Wolf King's coda, and I'm going to unmark the Tinder Arch because I'm scared of that fella.
Yeah, the Tinder Arch thing, if I remember correctly, you can do that up to 3 times. And on the 3rd time, the Court of the Sun Queen goes off at that point.
So that's what these 3 boxes are. Okay.
That's what those 3 little boxes are, yeah.
Okay, so I've marked one of them and unmarked the whole thing.
Okay, fantastic. All right, so let's keep going with our character recap. Calyxe of the Verdant Crucible, you are moonburned, and you are still Herald of the Speaking Root. Did you take an advancement last time?
I did, yes. I took a new move called Give My Death Meaning. it allows me to name dangers and servants as part of Do Not Let Me Hang
Yes.
Alone.
Yeah, because you can't
And
normally. Yeah.
yeah, they are always unwilling martyrs. And the dark move is made at disadvantage. However, if they are made oracles, they permanently lower my cinder by 1. But when I take body parts from them, that comes at just a cost of 1 box marked on each oracle, so they last longer.
Yeah.
I think. Oh wait, no, that's just servants. That's not dangers.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I think if I remember correctly, yeah, you can make a servant an oracle permanently lowering your cinder by 1, but you can take body parts at a cost of just 1. So they stay alive longer. Oh, and their eventual death is a lord clue.
Yes.
So that's pretty wild. We'll see if you have time to actually do that. And that's kind of a long-term campaign thing. But
but if we do it, then it would help clear conditions to
Indeed.
folks maybe marked. So we'll see what we do.
I love it. Okay, so did you have any particular moves? Did you want to visit Fen? If you go on Pale Crossing, are you going to visit Fen?
If we go to Pale Crossing, yes, I'd love to visit Fen. But if we head to the Branch Torn Knight and just stay on this path, then I'd like to create a new oracle because Sedenabre is dead.
I mean, that you can always do that after Elegy too. So
cool.
Fantastic. Let's go to Fenwyn. You will have Bloom Blindness still. Fenwyn, did you advance last time? Doesn't look like it.
No, I didn't.
Did you have any particular moves or scenes you want to have today?
I mean, I'm like well game to get on Pale Crossing and go back to Elegy if everyone else is. And I don't know whether I should just stop trying to go to the Branch Torn Knight because
I keep getting waylaid.
I keep getting waylaid last time by some temporal madness. No, I'm a leaf on the breeze today. I'm more than happy to go where everyone else wants to go.
Sounds great. Okay.
Also, don't say to Jess, I don't think we've got time to do this because she'll do it.
She'll do it. I know. Fantastic. You can mark new end of session questions if you wish. I do have another whisper on the wind for you, Theia. Sing a song on the stairs of sorrow. And we have fewer than 3 active mysteries, so let's introduce a third mystery. This mystery is called the Mandrake Monastery. In your many years of traveling through the Great Forest, in the crossing between a river and the shadow of a hilltop monastery, you would have stumbled into a pilgrim's camp. Before introductions could be made, you heard a concert of screams from the monastery. It didn't take much prompting for the pilgrims to tell you the temple's story. The monastery was dedicated to the study and trial of poisons and antidotes, patches of nightshade, wolfsbane, mandrake root, and more. The gardens were naturally vast. I'm going to pose this to all of you. The pilgrims populate your imagination with flowers that flourished in the monastery gardens. Name a flower. What property was it harvested for?
It has a very complex name few can really wrap their tongue around. But it helps in medicines with breathing, relieves congestion, brings a comfort to those suffering with chest afflictions. The name by which it is most commonly used is Mericat.
People call it yellow flutter. It grows in little bursts of tiny, tiny, bright yellow petals on long stems. And if you have the patience to squeeze the tiny, tiny drips of nectar from a whole stem into a vessel and drink of it, you feel energized and alive, your heart aflutter.
There are pale desert orchids, very difficult to grow and maintain unless the conditions are just so. And they are harvested, if you can manage to keep them alive, for a concentrated serum that can be boiled down from it that, shall we say, enhances the imbiber's truth-telling.
They call it the lion heart root. The single bite. And suddenly it seems as though the eater is instilled with a confidence, a bravery. They do not see the things that fear them as threats. That can be to their detriment, as taking too much can lead you to believe that a cliff is not a detriment.
All this flora was maintained by an ornamental hermit. He collected seeds from upriver in the morning, attended the garden by day, and lived out of his grotto at night. Then the apothecaries discovered he was crossbreeding the plants into something wholly new. None know what blasphemous crop could have been budding that forced their hand. The apothecaries torched the heretical hermit along with the gardens. By the time the flames burned out, so too had the old fire, and the dimning came over the monastery. They tell you the hermit's spirit haunts the monastery. From who else would the cries come, with screams shrill enough to kill? But you know better. The song echoing from the monastery weighs like a stone on your mind. It rings blood out through the ears. A chorus of mandrake cries. A forest fed a fire can grow back twice as strong. Nourished on the hermit's ashes, the garden did the same. If a patch of mandrakes can grow into a colony, so too can the hermit's heresy resprout stronger. You must find its bud among the countless others before it flowers. You must cut it out so it cannot regrow. You have 3 questions that you can pursue on this mystery. The first is the one that resolves the mystery. What is the purpose of the heresy the hermit planted in the monastery garden? It's a complexity 8. Opportunity, resolve the mystery by entering the garden and immediately engaging in a struggle against the hermit's heresy. But you have another question. How can the hermit be resurrected? It's a complexity 4. Opportunity, perform a ritual to revive the hermit. Finally, where can we bury the hermit's remains to give him true rest? That's a complexity 2. Opportunity, carry the remains to the site and bury them. If completed, one of you gets a new item, the Sage's Peat. And so that is your third active mystery. Because it's new, it will not collect any countdown, but the Umber Slade will now be able to collect countdown. Whenever you resolve a mystery, you have the ability to get on Pale Crossing and go back to Elegy. This also represents an interesting opportunity for all of you because you're all split up, but Pale Crossing allows you all to be together and to even set out again from Elegy together if you wish. And so I just need to know who's taking the Pale Crossing journey back to Elegy in the Morning Tower.
I'd like to.
So just above table rules question, going back to Elegy after the mystery's been resolved doesn't advance the countdown, but if we go somewhere else afterwards, that will.
Going back to Elegy also advances the countdown.
Ah.
So, in the name of countdowns, my suggestion would be for Ash and Calyxe to go to the Branch Torn Knight.
That's only if you think you're going to resolve it today, though, because no matter what, the journey to Pale Crossing marks the 3rd box.
Oh, right. Okay.
I thought the Pale Crossing journey was free for the resolve of the mystery. Is that not true?
It still counts as a journey for purposes of...
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
But it's just we're only allowed to go back after. We've
You
just
can only
Yeah,
go
it's
back after
like
the resolution
only-
of a mystery, yeah.
but it still counts.
Yeah, you can't go back whenever you want. You can only go
No.
back to resolve.
Yeah,
Well,
I really want to see what this Branch Torn Knight's up to, is the thing.
Yeah, if the
Mhm.
2 of them are already at the Branch Torn Knight, then we
Yeah.
can go to the Branch Torn Knight.
I think that makes more sense in this scenario, just to get it done.
Yeah, where actually are we? I've got no idea.
I was in like a weird liminal desert space.
That's a good point. I mean,
Where does Theia materialize?
Theia will rematerialize at the Branch Torn Night, because that's
Okay.
where you were taken from. So,
Okay.
So
Cool.
Fenwyn and Theia are at the Branch Torn Night. If Ash and Calyxe go to the Branch Torn Night, that still marks the third box. It's because it's a journey. You have to do a journey to get over there. And so that would put a countdown mark on both the Umberslade and on Branch Torn Night. If you want to avoid the Branch Torn Night's countdown problem at the third box, which is one of your supplicants is killed, then you have to resolve the mystery today.
I guess we're resolving the mystery today.
Yeah, that's what we're doing, I guess.
Let's
Very
do
well.
it.
Okay.
To the
Then
night.
we are going to have a journey, but it's going to be with Calyxe and Ash. So, okay, that's good. I think we should go ahead and frame that up then. The question now is just, which journey are you going to take? You can do the third leg of the Three Faces, so you get the third box there, or you can start a brand new journey.
What do you fancy, Ash? Because both the Three Faces and New Journey, to me, have equal merit.
I haven't been to the Three Faces.
You can go visit
So
Ryan, yeah.
She's still there.
30
after
years later.
30 years. Oh God.
Maybe, I don't know. Yeah. She might hear of your passage and then come visit you, right?
Fair. Yeah. I mean, yeah, why not?
To the Three Faces.
To the Three Faces then. Before we get to the Three Faces, I've been reminded that I didn't go over the Lord clues in our recap. And you currently have quite a good number of them, 6, and you've earned a 7th from the last answer a question. Did we just settle on what that was going to be?
I think we said sort of in private that we would maybe take a line from the lullaby that Ash sang. Either the line, lend a swift wing to this earthbound thing, or may the trees keep a watchful eye. So one of those lines, if anyone has it.
Oh, maybe too, right?
Yes. Yeah.
That's great. I love it. So you have 7 Lord clues on your complexity 8 Lord question. You're getting pretty close to having a good, solid chance at answering that. Fantastic. The Three Faces. What about the strange stone of the Three Faces makes us think it comes from the stars?
The eyes of the Three Faces are not the same shade of obsidian black as the rest of it. They have a glisten to them, and when peered at closely, you realize that they are each made of a precious stone. Nothing that you would find within the lands remaining. But at the right angle, it is as if the stone pierces through and up into the dusking sky, and you can see these peridot green eyes staring down to the lands remaining. It is not a stone of this place. It could only have come from the stars above.
The stone itself is scorched. A great intense heat, hotter than the magma of a volcano, hotter than the core of this earth, the heat that can only come from the friction of something careening through the atmosphere from a place beyond. It melts it partly before it comes to rest on the land. Stone is burned into itself.
Should you try to reach out and touch the monument, unless you concentrate very, very hard, your hand will simply slip right off. And again, you might try, try to reach into the nebulae held within this black stone, but your hand will slip again. It has been burned until it is almost frictionless.
Unseen to the naked eye, especially in the dim of the lands remaining, there are secret veins that run all through the stone. Veins that glow platinum white whenever a comet or meteor passes close by, almost as if this thing is trying to pull those celestial objects into orbit, bring them crashing down to Earth.
First question, are you going to be making camp at the Three Faces?
It's more I don't want the other two to suffer. However, it's been so long since I've slept in a nice place. So
It's good enough to know that you are. That helps me frame up with the other two. I do want to talk about Theia and Fenwyn first, though, because you are both going to be in now the lands of Liege Lord Brynwild. You will, in your different ways, Fenwyn, you kind of trip over them, maybe, or you have to you have to kind of feel your way around them. But Theia, you'll see them. So many headless bodies in various states of decay over the decades. They litter the land like stones. People unworthy to face the branch-torn knight falling to his axe. You can see Castle Brynwild in the distance, as I've described it in the past. It is pristine, unlike every other structure you've encountered so far in your decades in the lands remaining since resurrecting as an ember. It is pristine. It is the banners flap gaily in the wind. There is music and song coming from inside. There's this beautiful crystalline lake. And of course, there's the training yard where we see this fellow training hard, possibly to face the branch-torn knight himself. Do you want to approach this together or separately?
I think together, but I think we had an idea about where we might sort of make camp, if that's okay.
Okay.
Because that doesn't change anything you've just described, but like, could we pick up exactly where we left off with me
On the shores of
the water and there on the shores?
Absolutely. That waterfall was not real. It's just a mucky pool of water, but you certainly can. Yes. Let's have that scene before we get to the make camp part of it. Let's just have the scene. A little, just your reunion.
Then I think Theia finds herself standing. It takes her a moment to gather where on earth she is. It's been a long time since she's seen anything other than hot expanses of sand. But after a moment, Fenwyn will hear the thundering of unsteady, careless charging towards him of somebody who has not felt anything other than sand under her feet in 30 years. And Fenwyn, you will probably feel Theia just bodily launch herself into your arms.
I think Fenwyn can't trust that this is real, even though he's more certain of this than he was of anything he's experienced for the last 3 decades. And he just holds you so tight, tighter than he's ever held anything. And he just says, is this real? Are you real? Is this human straw?
Real enough. And he won't be able to say anything else because she is kissing him and holding him. The nails of her fingers are digging like claws into the back of his neck, tearing at him. She needs to be held. She needs to be touched and heard.
Fenwyn doesn't fight against it, and he pulls his cloak loose and swings it round, and it trails around them like ribbon, binds them together in the moonlight.
Fantastic. Well, I think I want to fast forward just a little bit to the actual make camp part of Theia and Fenwyn. You have your fire going within sight of Castle Brynwild. You can see Castle Brynwild, and who knows if the people in Castle Brynwild are looking at you. But someone is approaching your camp. Hello, fellow travelers. Might I be able to share your fire? Stepping into the nimbus of your firelight is the Scale-Blessed Pilgrim. I don't know if either of you have met him. He is a man, bald, wearing raggedy green robes. Most strikingly, his arms and neck and hands and feet are all covered in tattoos of scales, like dragon scales. After 30 years, his eyes have gone brilliantly blazing green. He asks if he can share your fire. What do you say?
I think instinctively Fenwyn turned and didn't raise the bow, but certainly knocked an arrow and started to draw it so he could get more of a sense of who this person approaching is. And I think when he realizes there doesn't seem to be any immediate danger, he sort of gestures to Theia.
Theia is, I think, probably just puts a sort of like a steadying hand on Fenwyn's shoulder on the back of his neck and calls out to him, to the pilgrim. The fire has enough warmth for more than two.
Yes, I suppose it does. I am the Scale-Blessed Pilgrim, a green ember of the fire reborn. I can see that you are false embers. I say that with no acrimony or disrespect. It is simply the way of the world.
Pleasure, I'm sure.
What shall I call you, Embers?
You may call me Theia.
A beautiful name, Theia.
You may call me Fenwyn.
Fenwyn.
Oh, you tell him your name straight away.
So, how goes your journey to the old capital, to the throne of the hidden king?
It has been protracted.
Yes. Yes. It's rather interesting, isn't it, that you and so many embers who've come before you should struggle mightily to reach the old capital, to climb the steps to the throne of the hidden king, so that you might sit the throne and reignite the old fire. Hundreds have come before you, all have failed. The reason for this is obvious, of course. The old fire is already reborn in the great dragon, of which I am a green ember. Tell me, have you even pondered how you will breach the walls of the old capital? How you will even gain entry into the city? Umberell's walls are unscalable. The gates are sealed with ancient and terrible magics. Indeed, there is a magic shield of sorts draped over the whole thing. It is utterly impenetrable. There is no way of even reaching your throne.
Fenwyn says, well, there once was a tower that no hand could climb, no blade could break, no army could shake, but the little mouse decided to try anyway.
So children's stories are going to get you past all that ancient magic then?
Words, when spoken, can become true.
Yes, there is power in words. But there is even more power in green fire, as you will learn soon enough. I actually know something about how to get into Umberell, ironically enough, since I have no need to seek the throne myself. There are keys, you see. 7 keys to the old capital. One of those keys has been entrusted to Noxiliacs. Indeed, less than a century ago, before Umberell fell completely silent, representatives of the old king, the old hidden king, entrusted Noxiliacs with one of these keys, believing no force could wrest it from an ancient dragon. This, in truth, is why Noxiliacs hides in Lyrelen, why the Fae City is hidden, so that no one can find the key. It has nothing to do with grief, you see. That is a false tale. It has everything to do with stopping the likes of you. The old fire went out for a reason. It must not be rekindled. Indeed, there is no need to, for we have a new fire. Should you even find my great lord, should you wrest the key from his magnificent talons, you will still have to find 6 more. You should abandon your silly quest.
What is your quest, Pilgrim?
I seek the sights of green grace, so that I might attune with the fire reborn. And when I am called upon, I will help my lord rebuild this world, though I will not do it from a throne. I do not need such grandiosity.
What is it you need?
Nothing you can provide, minstrel. Well, I am off now. I'm called somewhere else, but thank you for sharing your meager fire with me. And he gets up and leaves. Ash and Calyxe. You can make camp at this point. Let's read the move just to be reminded of how it goes. When you and any other number of embers settle down to rest, you can tell a pleasant story from the time of the old fire or engage in your ritual. If you do, clear an appropriate condition or unmark an appropriate aspect. Then as a group, you discover a clue. You'll tell me what the clue is. You're not in a dangerous place, so that's the extent of it for you. And so you are here in the shadow of the 3 faces. The scene is yours.
What do we think Ash and Calyxe's journey from the Whitewood to the Faces has been like? Have they spoken or has it been silent?
I think it's been silent, if just because the nights that follow have put a bit of a barrier in between you. They know things that Ash does not.
I cannot blame their suspicion. 30 years has had its effects. I do not hold it against them. I want them to know that.
Rowan does not look much at you. Malin does. I think he sees that there is something earnest about you, which is why they have not left you.
I tried to help in the ways that I knew. In ways maybe you could not see. Sidenebrae no longer haunts your steps, does he?
I mean, I suppose I would have thought he would have given up. Time passed very strangely up there. It's been a while.
What was it like there? Away from the woods?
Illuminians are a curious folk, but all they have is each other, and I think I can understand that.
After 30 years, so can I. It is strange. It is strange. I had this need, this vision, this purpose set. An idea. There was a vine in the darkness, and whenever I imagined a scene, a specific scene, sunlight bathed upon me, that I suddenly knew which way to grow. It was you upon the throne. Maybe it's because you looked at me with no hatred, no anger, no mercy, no pity back in the Whitewood. Maybe it is something you said, but it has stayed with me all this time, Ash. It has quieted my mind. It has sobered my thoughts. It has placed doubt in that which I was devout to.
Is it so wrong?
I don't believe it is. Do you think I could ever be more than I am? Could you ever see me as more than I am?
I think I couldn't see what you were before. I could always see what you could be. If you wanted to be.
And what could I be?
Ash looks to the earth, the small bits of frail grass at their campsite. My sister used to have a garden. She would tend to the plants very carefully. I think they brought her some kind of peace. She never really got bothered when she was out there. My family, we were known for being a sort of violent type. He would vie for power a lot. It kind of outcast us from some of the others. I didn't really get along with a lot of my siblings, and I had many. But sometimes I'd look out my window and I'd see her just tending to flowers. I'd wish I could be as carefree, even for a moment. I think in you, there is something there that could ease and be carefree if you wanted to.
There used to be such a thing as want within the Crucible. There was a time when the Crucible was not even the Crucible as you would know it now. It originated as a peaceful movement. It was attempting to stop the fathomless war. It was peaceful. It attempted to show the world the importance of the forests and how tranquility can be found within the woods. That if we were to lay down our arms, stop fighting. But somehow, somewhere along the line, the fighting became part of what the Crucible was. The Crucible did what it could only do, and it absorbed it. It realized that suffering, feeding the earth, that suffering was the only way to make it stop. To be feared was to be better than ignored. And I was feared. I think I still am. Under the light of the moon, you would never tell. But in the clear sunlight, I think it is all too clear. Could someone like that ever be a sister to you? Could I ever be a sister to you?
Ash will rise from where he's sitting, not high and standing, just so that he can shuffle closer to you. He rests a hand on the back of your head and brings your forehead to touch his. Breathe. Breathe with me. And ease yourself of thought and burden. I am your friend. And through this, we will get through together. And at the end of it all, if you become what I think you can, yes, you could be my sister.
There are parts of me I will need to show you. To explain. But I would like this very much, I think. I fear my time at the Crucible may be coming to an end.
And maybe a different path for you then.
Maybe one where I have no name.
Let's check in on the move. Great scene, by the way. Which conditions do we think we've cleared, or aspects unmarked?
I was trying with the under the light of the moon to clear moonburned.
I like it, yeah.
I would like to clear, actually, I would like to use my my knights that I have stacked up behind as well, because I have 4 of them.
Yeah.
So
They can help
unless-
Calyxe too, right? So
yeah. So do you want anything else cleared from your like relics or anything?
I think I unmarked most of my relics with the experience boost I got like 2 or 3 sessions ago, so I'm all right for the time being. We hold on to those knights and use them in a sitch.
I can roll more. I can roll more. It's fine. So if you have anything you want to unmark, they'll
In
just maybe a little
case.
reluctantly fix your equipment.
I might unmark the dendritic tendrils that sap life from living flesh of old Gore.
I'm sure they loved that.
They're all just like, I'm a ghost, but
but yes, with the story, I would like to unmark the quiet voices. I think we had a conversation, so I'd like to unmark the quiet voices off of Name Taker, and then I'll use 3 others to unmark the equipment bits off of Name Taker, and 1 from my vow plate.
Good. It's a really efficient move once you get it going. I also would like for you to go ahead and mark your last 2 Theia, this is for Calyxe rather. I'd like for you to go ahead and mark your last 2 boxes on the kindling gate as well, for that one for the scene you just had, but also for last session too. You did something last session that felt very speaking root. I don't remember what it was, but you did, and I forgot to note it. So you are filled up. So whenever you are able to mark your cinder, you get to basically immediately unmark it. So Fenwyn and Theia, you are going to make camp too. But I think before you get to it, your little meager camp on this little muddy, on the shores of this little muddy pond, is being approached again. This time by someone who you can see coming from a mile away. A young man with ill-fitting armor assembled from different pieces, but shined to perfection. As he kind of steps into your light, you can see that he has big brown eyes and a very youthful, freckled face that's got quite a few bruises on it, like he's been punched a few times. He says, Hello! Hello! I'm Talmaron. Oh, your embers. Ho. The Lord and Lady will love to hear that. And by the look of your Gittern, a bard of some sort?
Indeed. Fenwyn, don't shoot him. He seems delightful.
I have been sent by the Lady and Lord Brynwild to question why you are camping out here in the mud when their halls are warm and filled with food and gaiety, and you are welcome.
Well, what a very sweet invitation.
We have much music already in Castle Brynwild, but I just know that Lady Brynwild would be most honored to have music from an ember played in her halls. An ember! How marvelous! Are you here to challenge the Branch-Torn Knight? Are you here to play the terrible game?
Have any embers played that game of late?
No, not of late. It matters not. Fret no more, Ember. 'Tis I who shall render this green brute to his knees. Talmaron the Bold they shall call me, nay, Talmaron the Night Slayer. Although I guess we'll let the poets sort out the actual names and titles. Isn't this exciting?
I'm dreadfully excited.
Come. Here, I'll help you gather your things. I'm actually a squire, technically, still, and so breaking camp is something I'm very, very good at. He goes, and he starts breaking down your camp without asking you. He's just doing it.
That will not be strictly necessary, my dear.
It would be an incredible honor for me to assist with this mundane task. I can't even bear the thought of an ember having to do something so utterly pedestrian as rolling up your bedroll and putting out the fire, which he's doing currently.
she's great. There is, I think, moved away from Fenwyn for possibly the first time since they found themselves here, and is just kind of putting a hand on this young man's shoulder. You really, it's cold. Tell me, you seem overjoyed to be meeting embers. Usually we're not met with quite so much delight.
Oh, I think it's wonderful. I think it's incredible. I hope you are able to succeed in your quest. I mean, what could be more valorous? What could be more worthy than to seek the throne of the hidden king and to reignite the fire? I mean, and then maybe everywhere will be like Castle Brynwild.
Perhaps so.
Come. Here, I can. He does this like hand wavy thing in front of Fenwyn's face a few times just to confirm that you can't see. And then once he does, he says, "Here, I'll take your arm, sir."
No need, Squire. We'll follow along.
Right. I suppose it's the old fire that burns within you that allows you to travel unaided without sight. You see with the sight of the gods, yes?
Something like that.
Good. As you're traveling to Castle Brynwild, he says, "So, Troubadour, what do you think of Talmaron the Bold? Is that too common?"
Well, there is a homonym which might not be as flattering. Perhaps we can find something else. Tamarand the Enthusiastic?
Talmaron the Zealous? No, that implies
The
something.
Overzealous?
Well, I didn't say that. Talmaron the Dedicated. The Leal. Oh, I like that. Talmaron the Leal. That's pretty good.
Would you like to write down your first ballad for me?
Well, I'm not particularly good with my letters, I fear. My the lady that I served did not teach me such things yet. That's okay. That's all right. I'm very good with the sword, and I'm quite good in the lists. I know how to ride a horse and to handle a lance.
Oh, well, how lucky we are to have your protection, my dear.
Oh.
Who is the lady who you serve?
He gets really quiet here. He says, perhaps that is a tale for another time.
Tamaran the Evasive.
Talmaron the Grief-Stricken. And he leads you now to the gates of Castle Brynwild. Castle Brynwild. The first thing you're going to be aware of is the great hall that you enter through. And I can't impress upon you enough how different this is from everything else you've experienced since your return to the lands. It is warm, it's inviting. You can hear the crackle of an enormous fire from somewhere. Rich tapestries depicting nature motifs and great heroic deeds covering the walls, the smell of warm spices. You'll eventually come upon this decorated hearth, the roaring fire in it, crackling, delight. Let's paint the scene, everyone. These halls have housed a great number of heroes. Describe a token they left in gratitude for their hosts. Do you feel at home among them, or would you if you were there? or does their greatness shame you?
There is a tapestry that had been gifted for the hospitality shown here in these halls by Lord Derris several hundred years ago, depicting his great feats as a hunter. And this tapestry shows Lord Derris fearlessly slaying creatures of renown. And center of this tapestry is Lord Derris standing atop the body of a large boar that we know as Old Gore. This brings me shame, not because I feel lesser knowing that this person has stalked these halls, but it brings shame knowing that the reports of their great feats are lies.
Hanging from the ceiling above, a strangely ornamented structure of metal and glittering gems, which at first might seem like a chandelier, and then perhaps a mobile and orrery, it moves. And it is only as the gates begin to close and that gush of air moves into it, and a tinkling, whirring tune begins to play, that its purpose is revealed. Somebody left this to sing a song of praise to the kind hosts who led them within and brought them safety. And it brings Theia great comfort to know that this is indeed a place of music.
Above the roaring fireplace, hung in an ornate gold frame, is a map. It is tattered at the edges. It is old, far older than the castle possibly. It has travelled from night to night to night, and it was given by Lady Bronwyn, a hero, a heroine. If Calyxe was there, she would feel great shame. For the hearth of the Crucible is marked clearly within the forest, meaning somebody knew where they were the whole time and sold that information on and let it be known throughout the lands. But the Crucible themselves were never aware.
Mounted on a plinth above the hearth is a gold-dipped feather. It glows, reflecting the light of the fire, and it was left there by a Meridan Torlanus. And if Ash was there, he would feel great shame. For only among the Torlanus do they know that that feather is an insult. This home is gilded, but its core is weak. And they would know.
The two of you hear this booming, boisterous voice. Ha ha! There you are! Decide to come in from the muck after, well, years and years, I should think. I'm happy to have you. You see this man with a thick auburn beard and bushy eyebrows over eyes that are sparkling with mirth. He comes up behind you and he actually does that thing where he slaps you on the back and puts his arms around you. And he is so happy to see you. He says, I am the Liege Lord Brynwild, also known as the life of the party, if you know what I mean. I'm so happy you're here. No heartache reaches this house. The old magic bleeds away, but my forest, my walls, evergreen, my halls, ever merry. Come now, dance, drink, rest. Tomorrow will wait, and so will your throne. Where is my wife? Wife! Wife! And the Lady Brynwild appears. She's wearing a gown of rich velvet, soft fur, and you have this really strong smell of lavender and tall grass on a summer's day. She's delicately beautiful, like a fond memory too precious to recall in detail. She says, our guests. And she comes up and she just immediately begins goes like for a full like tongue kiss with Lord Brynwild, like in between you. Husband, I'm so happy we have guests. I love nothing more than to show people the hospitality of our halls. She looks at you, Theia. There's so many wonderful things to show you. I could take you to, oh gosh, the room of stories, the field of honor. We have a beautiful meadow, the vine-hearted chapel. We have a number of private rooms, if there's something you'd like to get up to in a private way. Oh.
Are you inviting me privately, my dear?
I would love nothing more. And she actually physically pushes Lord Brynwild away from her as she moves closer to you. You are a musician, I see?
Indeed.
Do you know? There are several ways to get me out of this gown. And all of them involve verse. So I like your chances. Lord Brynwild turns to you, Fenwyn, having been pushed away by his wife, and says to you, well then, what's your poison,
Poison?
In the figurative sense. No one's going to poison you.
Well, they could try.
Oh. A challenge? A game? Shall we have a game? A poison drinking game. Do we have poison? Dear, excuse me. Lady wife. Yes, that's me. Your husband, you'll recall. Do we have poison in the larder somewhere? Of course not, you fool. Why would we have poison? We only have lovely things in our halls, she says, turning back to Theia. Lovely, beautiful things in Castle Brynwild. No poison, sorry.
I think this happens very quickly. And I think that Fenwyn moves between all three people, the Lord, the Lady, and Theia. And
Talmrun.
And yeah, four of them. He squeezes Theia's hand as if to say that it will be okay. And he nudges Talmrund and puts him completely off balance and sends him sprawling, and his ill-fitting armor, like kind of bits of it come off. And when he clambers back to his feet, Fenwyn has left the room and is going for a look around, because this is suspect.
Lady Brynwild turns to you, Theia, and says, so, you're staying the night. What sort of room do you fancy?
Comfortable and
check.
quiet.
A little trickier, but we'll do our best. Won't you play a song?
Well, what sort of bard would I be if I refused a request for a song? Where is the rest of your party?
Oh, people come and go, you know. Unfortunately, since the dimning, our halls are a bit less populated of late. That's all right. We have you now. We have Talmaron the Bold. Is that what he settled on, the Bold?
It's a work in progress.
And of course, I'm sure that old branch-torn knight is stomping around somewhere.
I have heard tales of the branch-torn knight.
Are you here to play his game?
I was here to find out a little more about it, I suppose.
I must tell you, it would sadden me greatly to see such a beautiful head separated from its shoulders.
Well, I shall do my best to keep it attached.
Yes, I think that's probably best. But there's plenty of time for that. Come. Let's find you a room.
Very well.
Play a song while we go. Something that will lighten my mood.
Theia will pull out her guitar and do something which is surprisingly difficult for an accomplished musician to do, which is to play quite badly.
I think this is the light move. What are you hoping to accomplish by doing this?
She feels extremely on the back foot, and she's trying in her own strange way to surprise them and put them a little off balance.
Oh, very good. Well, what are you afraid is going to happen if this doesn't go right?
I think that rather than sort of throw them off, it might offend them and sort of shift the mood in a less pleasant way.
Okay. I don't think any of your conditions will apply. This will be with composure. Go ahead and roll with composure.
Okay. And I have a 2, so that's 12.
Nice. As your bonus, I'll give you a clue. She's not put off by it, but she, as you're playing, she like moves her hand forward and just like puts her hand on your hand to stop you from plucking strings. And she says, "My dear, it seems you have not had a chance yet to do much practice since you were resurrected on Elegy. Do I have that right?"
Oh, do forgive me. It was awfully cold outside.
It's all right. We'll warm you up, and then we'll see what other talents your fingers might have. Come. You will get a clue. Fenwyn, what are you looking for? Where do you go?
I'm stalking the halls because there's something definitely amiss here, and I want to get a hold on what that is before we settle in for a cozy stay.
I think you do find yourself in the Room of Stories. The Room of Stories is a cozy mess of manuscripts, books, and parchments. There's a white crystal that, should you touch it, sings fragments of ballads. And there's a strange device projecting moving shadows on the wall, acting out a well-known legend. Let's paint the scene, everyone. The Lord and Lady collect the stories of heroes of the old fire. Describe one such story. What moral virtue is it supposed to teach?
I think that there is an old manuscript on the wall, and it is illustrated. It is exactly the story of the mouse and the tower, but the meaning is inverse. It is about not believing your hubris and staying in your lane.
There is a contraption with various slips of paper arranged in a circle so that when it is set moving, the flickering image appears of a storybook. A legion of nameless knights who work together to fight a great foe, but who rely far too much on each other rather than focusing on individual strength and accomplishment. They fall to a superior, singular enemy.
I'd like to think that there is a shelf piled high with old scrolls and manuscripts, some a little dusty. Clearly some stories are favoured more than others, and one of those others is a scroll that contains the story of Carnan the Vicious. The story is short, sweet, simple. Carnan was a force, a brute, vicious in all capacity, no mercy. And that was his undoing. While great and powerful and feared by all the land, without empathy, without the ability to stop and think, he ended up serving the wrong lord and ended up with his head parted from his shoulders. It is not the end that any knight wishes. Yet, that is the price of viciousness.
There's a story. There is a story. It's a bookend, almost. It follows the long tale of a knight who had fallen out of favor and so had bound himself to obscurity. He had made many enemies in his past, but had left it behind, or so he thought. And he helped those in a small town, farming and planting and growing. He fed the small who grew into tall, and then when his enemies came, those he fed fought for him. The seeds you plant and the ones you feed can become your greatest allies in need.
Of course, Fenwyn, you can't see any of that. But I will tell you, there's someone in this room with you. You can hear them. They're breathing. You can smell the faint scent of lemons and mint, fresh things. Ash and Calyxe, is there anything else you want to do in the shadow of the three faces?
Just one thing.
What is that?
And that is to put someone on the tree.
Interesting. Who?
I would like to invite Ash to see, but it will be the last step of the Black Cortege.
Of the Black Cortege, who's a danger.
Yes.
Let's read your move here. It seems the world is full of unwilling sacrifices, martyrs who must have their sacred role revealed through violence. You can name a danger, or a servant, but danger for our purposes. They are always unwilling martyrs, as if you had rolled a 7 to 9 on your core move, and the subsequent dark move is taken at disadvantage. And so, Ash, are you going to be there when this happens? Is that the plan?
Calyxe will allude to needing to do this. This being what was said and the elements of herself that need to be explained and seen by Ash before he can accept her.
Ash will watch.
Calyxe finds another tree near the three faces. I would like to think away from where the remains of Sir Denebray are. She hopes the smell is not too pungent. She's nervous. She's never been nervous. In the 30 years she was alone, she could not count the number of people she put on the trees, but this is the first time she is nervous to do so. And she looks at Ash, and she calls the last step to the tree.
You'll both hear a sort of you'll see this member of the Black Cortege wearing a morning coat edged with ash and pinned with a single white rose. And they're drawing a salt circle, big wide salt circle around the tree. Hello, abominations. If you'll just give me one moment, please.
Take your time.
Very good. There we are. Circle complete. The circle silences everyone inside of it, except for the last step. Any attempt to speak makes no sound. Right then, unlike some of my colleagues, I care not to hear your last words. What use are the foul mutterings of abominations like you? Who's first then? And she draws a long sword, or they draw a long sword.
Calyxe looks at Ash and pulls out the tenderbark confessor and then stands resolute against the Black Cortege, against the last step. You have hounded...
You can't speak.
We can't speak!
No.
Oh, of course! Oh, we are in the circle! Okay,
Yeah.
okay. Thought we were outside of it. Raises the tenderbark confessor then. Puts herself in between Ash and the last step and levies it at them.
This is going to be the dark move. What are you afraid is going to happen if you fail to turn the last step into an oracle?
I'm afraid the last step's going to go for Ash.
Yeah, she just, perhaps in a nice echo of what's been going on today, she just cuts her head right off and then goes straight for Ash. That's the extent of it here. You're going to roll with vitality, and I think because of you don't have a condition that applies, so you're good. Vitality.
Okay, and at disadvantage.
Right. Oh, that's right. That's the other. You always have a disadvantage. Yeah.
Ooh. So that is a 6.
You brandish the tenderbark confessor, and she just goes, and just like with one quick lightning flash strike, there's just a whoosh, and Calyxe's head lands at your feet, Ash. Right then. Any last words? Oh, right. You can't. And then they lunge at you, unless you're stoking the fire, Calyxe.
I stoke the fire.
Indeed. Old or fire to come, or the other one.
I will stoke the hearth's fuel and unmark 1 stigma.
Oh, very good. Instead, this is going to be a quite nasty battle between the two of you. You are going to she's actually going to stab you, and you're going to have nerve damage in one of your arms, but you will otherwise succeed. I'll let you describe what that looks like.
There is a moment where she is stabbed, and the pain is so exquisite that it's as if 30 years haven't even passed at all. And a lot of old habits drive at the back of Calyxe's mind. And as she stabs, as the last step stabs into that shoulder, Calyxe grabs the blade and pulls it in, walks forward onto it, lets the last step, feel as every bone and muscle and sinew is pierced by the blade. And Calyxe's exquisite suffering feeds the land. She doesn't need words to convey how much it hurts and how glad she is, because her teeth are bared and grinning as the blood begins to flow. But the last step will not let go of her sword. It is in that moment that Calyxe, with her good arm, sweeps the tender bark confessor to the side and whaps her against the tree. The nails come out quite fast as they are quickly fastened together. And it is just as the first nail is being put in that Calyxe remembers what is happening, and that she is not alone, and that Ash is here, and that this was made for a purpose. This was all done for a reason. This was to show that the land must be fed suffering and meaning. It cannot just be one. Crucifix simplex is the single least painful form of crucifixion. The last step's arms are down by their side, pinned straight against the bark. Through each shoulder a nail is placed. It misses most of the vital nerves, but it hangs them there. Their hands are nailed there too. They cannot move, they cannot pull off, they are part of the tree once more, but it is the most humane way to do this. As Calyxe pulls himself off the sword and slumps, she moves back out of the circle of salt and just kicks it so it is broken on her way out. I am sorry. Ash, I am sorry. This is what I am. If I don't do this, something worse happens. Something so much worse. I feed the land those that would do us harm, that would stop us from trying to be what we are. Now, anyway. I've not always been so, but can you see? Can you see that's what this is?
Ash is looking at you. He looks back to the last step. And as he turns back, there is a brief moment where there is a crescent of red, the light of red regard, refracted in his eyes. I cannot say I fully understand. I am grateful that you trusted me with this, Calyxe. But I think... And he starts to walk towards the last step. I'm not certain if this kind of suffering is truly worth it.
The land must be fed, suffering to speak truth, or something much greater will consume us all. This is what we believe. The Crucible believes was the first dimning. I wish there not to be a second.
I used to think it was things like this that caused the dimning. Blatant, unyielding pain. Caused for no clear reason, but you seem to have reason.
I do. I do not do this because it brings me joy. The Crucible feels no joy. They feel no love. They feel no grief. Grief is the tax of love. I have grieved for no one in my life. This is what we are trained to do. To prevent something worse from coming.
And are you still of the Crucible? Or are you changing?
A step closer to the light every day. I fear the Crucible has been the dark this whole time. I doubt. And I waver in my faith. I do not know how many more oracles I will make. But I can see an end.
He steps forward and takes your face in his hands. When I sit on the throne, I'll free you from this. You'll have no need of oracles. You'll have no need to commit suffering to others. I'll free you, Calyxe.
I am bound to you, Ash. I am bound to you.
I hate to intrude with mechanics, but but I will. You cannot get an oracle clue yet from the last step. You can, however, harvest a body part and mark 3 health boxes. If you want to do that now.
I think it will be the last thing that Calyxe... God, is this going to be... Yeah, I think this is going to be... This will mark maybe the last time that Calyxe takes a body part and gives up on her chances to ascend. This will maybe mark the last unless something changes. And... representative, oh my god, of the circle closing. She takes one eye from the last step.
What do you replace it with?
A lock of her daughter's hair.
Fenwyn and Theia, being in the castle in this circumstance is your make camp. And so we'll get to the good parts of the make camp in a moment. Let's settle the bad parts for now. I'll start with Fenwyn. What are you afraid is going to happen right now if you drop your guard?
Fenwyn has this kind of awful feeling that the Lord and Lady have some ulterior motive for our presence, and that will be revealed.
Theia, you can build on that, or you can introduce something new. What are you afraid is going to happen if you drop your guard?
The young fellow who came to bring us in mentioned being grief-stricken. And I'm afraid that the ulterior motive will result in us also not leaving here alive.
It's worse than that. The reason why you won't leave here alive is not because anyone will bring you any harm. Indeed, Lord and Lady Brynwild will treat you with incredible hospitality for as long as you want to stay. The reason why you won't leave alive is because Castle Brynwild itself is an endless labyrinth of pleasures that does not let you go. You will in fact stay here for a very, very long time, even Ember's age eventually. And you will have peaceful rest as you close your eyes in your dotage. Not a bad ending, really. Let's get some dice on the table. Whoever has the lowest cinder is going to roll. Fenwyn has -1. Theia has -1. I'll choose. Theia, you can roll it.
All right. So that was a 12, -1,
Oh.
11.
Very good. Let's remind ourselves of the move here. On a 10+, the rest period passes without incident. Very good. So let's just continue then. I owe you a clue from Lady Brynwild. Are you going to actually like sleep with Lady Brynwild? That's what she's angling for.
I want to fire off my camp move here. No, but I would like to continue the scene with her.
Okay. What is the move that you're referring to?
I want to do my ritual.
Oh, that's right, your ritual to get the benefit of the main camp. Yeah, that's great. Remind us what your ritual is.
The rite of the story taker.
Good. So she takes you to one of the many, many private rooms. This one has a 4-poster bed with rich red velvet blankets and the softest green pillows. Little motes of dust dance languid and ephemeral in this sort of like candlelight. It's filtering through. All outside noise is quieted inside this room. You wanted quiet, she says. This is a silence that promises to keep your secrets.
You are kind, my dear. But I do hope my flirtation did not give you the wrong impression. The truth is, I am still in mourning for my last lover.
I'm so sorry. How unbelievably foolish of me. I'm normally very good at perceiving such things. I'm sensitive to such things, and I just let my lust take over. You have my deepest apologies.
I appreciate it. Oh, he was a brave knight. Off he would go on quests, and I would fear that he would never come back to me. But
isn't that the way?
Oh, indeed.
Not that my lord husband has ever gone off and done anything brave, but that's neither here nor there.
Oh, well, you simply must try a lover who goes off and does brave things.
Oh, I've had many, of course.
Of course, my dear. I don't know if he loved me back. I think I reminded him of something, that's all. But in the end, he did not fall with steel, but with hand.
Oh.
His own hand. He tried to play a game, perhaps one you've heard of, against a very dangerous foe. And he lost, and before his head could be taken from his shoulders, he fell to grief.
Gasp.
I don't know where he is now, but I hope it is peaceful.
Your story moves me. I, of course, know what happened to your love. Like so many knights, he fell to the branch-torn knight. The only way to face the branch-torn knight is to be worthy. That is how you win the game. You prove your worthiness to him. That is the only way you have a chance at defeating him. It's... And she says, but look. Yes. I chose this room, I believed, at random, but no. There is a design here, the gods, the fates, whatever divinity you ascribe to. They meant for us to be here. Look. This tapestry. Depicting a great but unusual hunt. And what are the hunters hunting? A figure here, which traditionally represents the first rays of a winter moon. I see by your clothing that you have some faith put by in the moons, yes?
You are quite right.
There is meaning here. I just know it. There is something here in this story. Isn't this exciting? I'm all aflush.
Well, my lady, I'll be sure to let you know when my period of mourning is over.
I'm very, very hot. This bodice is so tight.
Well, my fingers are still rather cold. I'm not sure I'd be any use at all.
Oh, very well then. I suppose I shall trouble my lord husband. But please, take a look at the tapestry. I'm certain there must be an answer in it.
If you see my companion around, he's very good. Perhaps you could help.
Yes, all right. And she leaves you to it. This is the clue that I give you for your 12 plus bonus. The idea that there's this hunt, and they're hunting the first rays of a winter moon. Well, I want to check in with Fenwyn. Fenwyn, you smell this very feminine smell. This person in the room. Indeed, it's a woman. You can tell by the lightness of her step. Oh. I'm sorry, I didn't know anyone was in here.
Seems we have both made that mistake. I'm struggling to orient myself in this maze of pleasures.
Let me help you. She takes your hand, and her hand is very soft and small, cool to the touch. I am Ifrin. What's your name?
I've been known to go by Fenwyn.
Fenwyn. It's very nice to meet you. And as she takes your hand, she's kind of like slowly guiding it down until it brushes against a piece of silk fabric, or a piece of silk, some soft fabric. Can you see this?
Alas, I cannot.
I shall describe it for you. It's a green sash tied round my waist. My beloved, Dame Floriath the Gallant, was challenged by the branch-torn knight, but returned from the challenge wearing this green sash in penance of some flaw no longer remembered. She left, and she gave me this. I do not know why she burdened me so, but her last request was that I should return this sash. But what good shall it do now? It has been so long. Time crawls over me like spiders, stealing away my memories of her, of what we had. I have forgotten all but my love. Only this sash remains. How am I to cast it aside, Fenwyn?
One can unburden themselves easier than you think. Maybe I could share the burden.
Yes. Yes, I think that's right. Oh, my love, why did you burden me so? She says as she undoes the sash and places it in your hands.
Fenwyn winds it around his hands, around his knuckles.
You've invoked a special rule here, having taken the green sash. You can't see it, but she smiles in relief. She has both of your hands in her soft hands, and you can feel warm blood running over your hands as old cuts on her wrists have reappeared and are bleeding. She will be dead in moments. What do you do?
I think Fenwyn quickly undoes the lion guard cloth that covers his eyes. Quickly binds that cloth around her wrists, and then replaces his eye covering with the green sash.
This is going to be the light move. What are you afraid is going to happen if you fail?
I'm afraid that someone's going to walk in and think that I've murdered her.
Go ahead and roll with a reason for quick thinking, actually.
It's a 4.
Scoundrel! Knave! What have you done? Talmaron, the Ember Slayer, strides into the room, pulls out his sword. How could you do this? She was the beloved of my lady knight who I served. Ephraim falls to her knees, falls down, blood pooling all around. Demon, you shall pay. I shall earn my knighthood in blood. I shall avenge my lady and her beloved. And he steps forward. What do you do?
Do I get a chance to stoke a fire here?
Yes, you do.
In which case I will stoke the Ashen Passage and increase my Cinder by 1 and decrease another ability by 1.
I'm not going to put any further complication on it, except I just want you to describe how you save Ephraim.
I think we see it from the squire's point of view. I think the squire has followed me, or perhaps was doing some rounds to check in on her, and sees me helping her up as he enters, helping her up to stand as she'd fallen. And the lion guard cloth quickly turns a darker shade of red, but then instantly returns to its brightness, the brightness we would have seen it in the heraldry of Sedena Bray, and that something about it bolsters her past the point of her grief to something like the point of acceptance, whilst her grief now is wrapped around Fenwyn's eyes, and he feels the weight of that, but also knows it was a good trade.
I lied. There is a further complication. You're going to take a condition. It's a good one, though. You are now beloved of Talmaron the Ember Keeper. Talmaron doesn't say anything, but he takes what he's seen with him and holds it in his heart, and he promises to himself that he will help all embers reach the throne of the Hidden King in any way he can. Ifrin lays down on a chaise longue and goes to sleep, rests. I want to pick up with Ash and Calyxe. You're traveling to Castle Brynwold, yes? On your way, this is the daytime. On your way, the five of you are stopped by a patrol of Emerald Knights. Halt! Their leader says. They're all wearing the pale green scale armor. There's about half a dozen of them. They're draconic helmets. You, to Ash, you are dressed as the knights who have been terrorizing these lands over the last years. Do you answer for their crimes?
I know not of what crimes you speak.
Knights wearing plain, unadored armor like yours, calling themselves by nicknames, ordinary objects, stealing the names of what few common folk remain in these lands and taking it for themselves. Word has reached us that you are familiar with this legion and that perhaps you even command them.
Knights under my command would not do such a thing.
And yet, we have all heard these tales. We are forced to bring you in.
You are mistaken.
We are not. Come.
And if we refuse?
Silence, witch! You, come to Ash.
Ash will look to Calyxe, to the other three. I don't think you'll bring me anywhere.
Then you misunderstand entirely the circumstances you find yourself in. And they're on foot. They press forward. What do you do?
Ash is going to... How many are there?
6.
6.
6
Ash
Knights
is
of the
going to-
Dragon.
Ash is going to barrel through them.
To just run away, or you're gonna actually fight them?
To fight them.
Okay. Calyxe, what do you do in the meantime? You'll just be, if you get in the way, they're gonna attack you too. But if you just stand back, they won't.
Oh, I feel like there's. Are they a danger at this point?
They are. The leader is I'll say the leader is a servant. The others are dangers. The lesser patrolmen.
Do they count as one danger, or are they individual dangers?
You can count the individual as one danger. Yeah,
one danger.
Yeah, you can count them all as one danger. The one that's not the leader, or the 5 that are not the leader.
Calyxe reaches for the eye in her pocket as Ash barrels into all 6 of them, almost clearly getting to the head of the snake. And Calyxe holds the eye in the palm of her hand and plunges it deep down into the earth. And with a great archaic muttering to the dangers, just says, "Your eyes will remain upon me."
Oh,
and she is going to use give the land claim to my body. I make a quick sacrifice to the land in order to command nature. If you have time to bury or richly bury a body part, you can harness the power of nature to automatically overcome a danger.
I think you have time because Ash described knocking them back, right?
Yeah.
Describe how you overcome the 5 that are not the leader.
With the eye in the soil, the crown of thorns on Calyxe's head suddenly blooms with great iridescent petals, twirling and shifting like butterflies in a dusk sky, and they are captivating. And as they begin to swirl, they capture the attention of these 5 knights and hold them in place, mesmerized completely by the colors and the swirling and the movement. And they will not move for the duration. That's what I'm attempting to do.
That works fine. You don't have to roll or anything. The leader meets you in martial combat, Ash. He says, "You think you have what it takes to defeat Sir Halvrin Mosscloak? You are wrong." And this is going to be the dark move with vitality. What are you afraid is going to happen if you fail?
I am afraid that Sir Halvrin Mosscloak is going to cleave me in twain.
That's okay. It's worse than that. He will then turn to deal with Calyxe. This is going to be with vitality. Let's take a look at your conditions. I don't think any of them apply.
I'm actually going to mark an aspect, the rune of shifting form, and as Ash is barreling forward, there is a change that comes off a part of his body as his mouth extends into a maw. And even though he has Name Taker out, it looks like he's going to bite into Sir Halvrin.
Fantastic. Roll with advantage.
No, I don't like this one. I'm going to change it for this one. He's telling me things. Okay. Vitality, that's 10.
I'll tell you what.
Mm-hmm.
If you bump it up, I will let you intercept Vera, who is on her way to challenge the Branch-Torn Knight.
Yeah, bump it up.
Old fire, fire to come.
Fire.
Fantastic.
Old fire.
Describe how you defeat Sir Halvrin.
Ash barrels through. He barely notices as the earth comes to respond to Calyxe's call because he had zeroed in on the head of said snake. As his body begins to change and shift, it is almost as if that same call of nature is pulling at him to shift and change as well. He is part human, part wolf, descending upon Sir Halvern. He draws Nametaker and thrusts it forward to skewer him down into the ground as he is speaking far too much, more than necessary. And as he is pinned down, Ash's mouth descends and his teeth grab into Sir Halvern's throat and rips his vocal cords out. They dangle with his esophagus down from his mouth. He spits it. You're speaking too much, Sir Halvern. But you're quiet now. It's better for us all.
Fantastic. I think the rest of the patrol, when released, will take the body of their leader and leave. Let's go to end of session. I don't think we have any moves that fire off at the end of session. And so let's go to end of session questions. Ash, we have not resolved a mystery yet. Did you roll with Cinder?
I did not.
Did your pride reveal itself beneath the mask of humility just now, right?
Yeah, in the confrontation, yeah.
Did you hear the echo of the Legion in your deeds or words?
Yes, when I was speaking to Calyxe
Right.
in the mid-camp.
Theia, did you roll with Cinder?
No, don't think so.
Did you engage in ecstatic or orgiastic worship of the Wolf King?
Well,
Let's hear it.
she may have. She celebrated being back on Earth and
Yeah,
in the sight of the moon in
Indeed.
the most orgiastic way
Indeed
she
you
knows how.
Did you perform publicly or intimately in a way that shifted the balance of power?
Yeah, I think a couple of times for the lady.
Yeah, with Lady Brynwild, yeah. Fantastic. You picked up 2 XP. Calyxe of the Verdant Crucible. Did you roll with Cinder?
I did not.
Okay, and let's see what your other ones are. Did you perform a rite others found abhorrent, frightening, or unforgivable?
Ash, would we say it was unforgivable?
I mean, it sounded like you're
Pretty abhorrent.
You're kind of being forgiven, though. I feel like, I don't know.
Okay, was it abhorrent? Would we say abhorrent?
It was abhorrent.
There we go.
He's trying to.
I've been forgiven, but it was abhorrent. So could we have
Yes.
that?
I'll take.
Okay.
Yeah, you can take it. You can take it.
Winner. Okay.
Did you spill blood in a way that caused the land to respond? Yes, you did. Fantastic. Or I think that doing that move, I think counts. Fenwyn, did you roll with Cinder?
I don't think I did for the first time in a while.
No, I don't think you did. No, I don't think you did. Actually, Theia, you did roll with Cinder, though, right?
Yeah, because you rolled make camp.
You did make camp, right?
All right, thank you.
However, Fenwyn, did you deliver an embittered monologue about the Dimning?
The old fire, I think, was pretty much
Yeah, that's
all
kind of
about
what
the
it
Dimning.
was. Yeah. Did you relate a situation to the story of the mouse in the tower? Yes, you did. It didn't make much of an impression, I don't think, but you did do it. Fantastic. Who has to stoke the fire next time? Who has to do a narration or some other narration? Okay, so we've got. Is it old fire, Wren? That you have to do?
Old fire, yes.
Fantastic. So Theia, you have to mark the shrine's fire, or you mark the shrine's fire. Did you have an old fire as well, or just the shrine's fire?
Just the Shrine's Fire.
Okay, so we've got an old fire from Ash, a shrine's fire from Theia. I'm being really particular about this because I listened to this part before we play another session, so I know who has to do what. Fenwyn, did you stoke the fire today? You did.
Fire to come.
Oh, it was fire to come. What about you, Calyxe? Did you?
Also fire to come.
Fantastic. Stars and wishes.
This was a really emotional session. No, I really liked. We still haven't all gotten back together yet, but I really liked being able to have those moments with Calyxe to kind of come to terms on where we are. And it actually wasn't as bad as it could have been, you know. So that was really nice. It was really hot, like warming to see Calyxe like bear herself in that way. Fenwyn and Theia, the first meeting, just when it was just like pure just I need this, I need you, just coming together. It was so evocative. And then comparing it with everyone in Castle Brynwild, particularly the Lady Brynwild, and how much it was just not. So it just kind of really emphasized how much it's Fenwyn and Theia. It's not just because they're there.
Yeah.
It's because like they have like this connection.
Actually, I want to note before we forget, you should have moved closer to red after reuniting with Fenwyn, but then closer to blue with how you dealt with Lady Brynwild, and so you're where you're at, but just noting it for posterity.
No, I don't know. I really, the session was so calm in comparison to the past that we had. I mean, not so much for Fenwyn, but generally it was calm. Jason, I love everyone in Castle Brynwild. They're so weird, but in a very mundane way. And it's like we're still playing like greatest hits. We got the Scale Blessed Pilgrim coming back again. It's great. I love all of them so much.
I am sorry. I actually, just a little game thing before I forget. Are we still going to be in the mate camp next session, or are we finished with?
You still could be in it, yeah.
Okay, just because I haven't done.
Yeah, to get your benefits of it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, this was really fun. I really liked the Calyxe and Ash scene. It was just like really moving, and like in a kind of like, it was obviously like the imagery of what we're seeing is pretty horrendous, but the emotionality going on alongside it was oddly beautiful in the way that rotten things sometimes smell sweet. I don't know. It was I really, really loved it so much. I love this strange toxic relationship between these two, and I'm always just so excited. I'm so excited to see where, like, this can't end well, but I'm here for it. Just so that's kind of just a star for both of you for how you like played that so gorgeously. I loved it. I was seated. I wish I had popcorn. Could have just watched that for hours. Matt, really enjoyed just reuniting these two clowns, and it was also fun interacting with the other folks who kept interrupting their nice reunion at the camp together, and like seeing how these two kind of work together. We haven't really seen that since like a struggle a very long time ago of them actually kind of working side by side in that way, and it was kind of fun to play that out, so that was nice. Jason, just these lads in the castle just really sent me. I can't remember the last time I was just so broken by by an interaction that I just couldn't even think of anything to say because I was just having a giggle fit. So funny, so good, and then immediately contrasted with like this quite disturbing scene with this lass with the green sash, and kind of turning that funny interaction with the young squire into quite a heartbreaking thing. It was just a really nice journey of kind of sublime to ridiculous to tragic, all in one little arc. So that was really beautifully handled. So stuff for that.
Yeah. Star for Wren. I've really enjoyed the very odd relationship that's happening. The way that Ash reacts to, I guess, this sort of like very emotional sort of pit that's opened up in Calyxe, and the way that he's processing that and then also grounding it is really fun, because I have no idea where Calyxe is going. I don't know, and it's your suggestions that are making her do different things, and that feels really fun. But yeah, having that last really sort of vicious interaction as well with the Emerald Knights, also found it really fun that this transformation that Ash undergoes now when they fight, or if they want to, is particularly brutal. And it goes against the whole sort of nature of the Nameless. And it's that balance. I almost feel like after this sort of 30-year span, we've gotten together and bits of us have changed and we've swapped something, and it's this impact that's happened. And that is lovely to play with. It's so much fun to play with, and I want to explore more of that. And when we get the whole gang back together, I'm really intrigued to see how all of that will work as well. I think it's something to really look forward to. Whole gang star for all of the descriptions of the flowers in the monastery. I thought those were all really good. I really like Yellow Flutter. Was Matt's the pale orchid? And you tied that into the desert orchids, which you'd had 3 hummingbirds from the floor. Like, everyone building each word. The lion, heartroot, like these. Yes, you can. I could see these all in Elden Ring. Beautiful, really, really well done.
I had the same thought. I was like, this is so Elden Ring. Like,
right?
Design goal, check. We have done it. Yeah.
We've done it. We're in there. And then the scenes that Matt and Theia had together, that first initial raw encounter, part of me, because the way that you guys separated was so, see you, minstrel. I don't know if we'll see you again. But to have that really emotional reconnection filled something in me with regards to that relationship, and I'm really happy that happened. And then all the descriptions of just like tearing at like Fenwyn, that was fantastic. And then to sort of lead it off to Castle Bragan, it's like we've solidified a lot of different relationships in this session, and it's really cool. So that was great fun. And just 10 out of 10 session for emotional development. And Jason, a star. I really love the Crux Druid. This might be my favorite character I've ever played in a campaign. It's really well balanced in that it starts out just vicious. It starts out as a beast. But the more you get into it, the more you actually want to find more to them than just brutality.
Yeah, you want to find the humanity in it.
Yeah, it's very like just natural to want to do more than just gore and horror. So it's perfect in terms of like
working as written. I love it. Yep,
yeah, the additional moves all add into it. It's brilliant. So yeah, 10 out of 10 on the Crux Druid. Hard recommend, gang. I don't know why I did that to camera. That was so stupid. Nice one. Yeah, thanks.
So I'll cut all this out. It's fine. Ages ago, quite a few sessions ago, I think it was all the way back on Wednesday, Jason said that it was really nice that the Embers all have had a heroic story beat. Something happened to them, and said that Calyxe was possibly incapable of having any kind of heroic moment. I think tonight was about as close as we're going to get. And there is a sort of quiet heroism in doubting everything you've ever held true while still holding on to it with 2 bloodied hands. And I just thought that like that emotional journey and that when we started this, I was like, there's no way anyone can find the humanity in the Crux Druid, because they're just so crook. They're just terrible. But like, here we are. And not only is it like achievable, it feels earned, and I believe it. So kudos there. There was something, no one's mentioned it, but I think it's worth mentioning that Ash actually talked about taking the throne in this episode, and I was like, huh, all right. The Were Knight could be ruling over the lands remaining. That's something. I thought all your interactions together were incredible. I thought the fight with the Emerald Guard and Emerald Knights was fantastic. The way you didn't just make it a stand-up throwdown. It was driven by character, and we know how we love that. So yeah, stars for that. Michelle, like, we had talked about it like beforehand, but we hadn't really kind of planned anything in detail. But like that, having that reunion on the muddy banks of the pond, like, and that's what made it. And I know that like Jason was like, well, the waterfall's not real. This is like a fetid pond or whatever. Like, that actually makes it so much better that like we didn't wait for somewhere better or somewhere like, more suitable. And I just loved how immediate it was, and how it just felt very real to those characters. And from a kind of like player standpoint, like doing these romantic scenes and these intimate scenes with Michelle has been a dream, because like I feel like very respected at the table with boundaries and things. And, we've talked about it, and there's been a very creative to and fro without sacrificing any of the spontaneity at the table. And it's been a joy. Thank you very much, Michelle. And it also was like, I really liked how kind of feral it was in contrast to the old fire that I'd literally just done, which was just very quiet and like tender. And then that came in, and like, I kind of hope that people are seeing why Fenwyn is acting the way he is, and he's not just kind of like forgetting people. But I'm really liking playing into that, which is why I really liked kissing Periwinkle that all those months ago. That was all part of that as well. And I just feel like lastly, Jason, right, the Lord and Lady, I've stayed with that couple in an Airbnb in Austin, right? Almost. I'm starting to wonder whether you have too, because it was pretty familiar. But fuck me, I couldn't keep it together during that. I'm so sorry, everyone. That was a lot. And also, like, for a character that is socially quite awkward, unless they are explicitly in disguise or something, I find it very easy not to be able to cope with some of these characters. And I almost forget that I'm supposed to be reacting to them because they're that funny. And like, I was desperate to do a bit of investigating. So I was like, something's really not, what it seems here. And the note is just a fuck palace. Do you know what I mean? You just need, that's the drawback. Like, you're going to be stuck here forever. And, it's going to be like Studio 54 or whatever. But yeah, like, I talk about this game's nuance and its textures, and like going from the session that we recorded ages ago, 2 hours ago, like, which had a completely different feel, and we just seem to kind of like effortlessly switch codes no matter what is in front of us. It just seems to work, and that's a huge credit to the entire table in the game. So there you go.
Yeah, star for the opening Old Fire narration. That was really, really good. I was so locked in, and I loved. It was such a great like thing to have, especially after what we just saw in the session before between Fenwyn and Rhea. So that was really great. Just loved it. I also big star for the reunion between Theia and Fenwyn. That was a terrific scene. I love playing the Scale Blessed Pilgrim. The Scale Blessed Pilgrim has become one of my favorite NPCs to play because he's sort of, or these green embers kind of function like like this sort of philosophical counterpoint to the Embers, at least in the Great Forest, right? And it's just really fun to play and kind of to like he's a great mechanism for like delivering the things that need to be delivered on a campaign level, right? to make the campaign proceed. So I really had fun with that, and I'm happy that the two of you just kind of let people join your camp to do that. Really enjoyed playing Talmaron as well, and I like how you all responded to Talmaron. I know Jazzy, the author of Branch Torn Knight, is really fond of Talmaron as a character, and so I'm happy that Talmaron came off okay. I mean the whole Ash and Calyxe storyline is so interesting and so multifaceted and deep and terrifying, but also kind of tragic and tender in its way. And there's something even like really weirdly like appropriate that like that Calyxe is like putting all of this on a character who is like a literal cipher, you know, who like is just a vessel of who's cast off all identity, right? Like there's something really intriguing about that to me. And I just love the way you both played it. I just thought it was so great. And yeah, I agree with Matt. This was kind of like the Calyxe session, right? Like it's as close to heroism as we're gonna get, right, from Calyxe. And so really love it. And yeah, I'm just so delighted. I think my wish, I'm very excited to see you all back together. I do hope you go to the Morning Tower after you're done with Branch Torn Knight, and because I think that we need to check in with the Morning Tower at least one more time before the campaign wraps, or at least this arc wraps. So just really delighted. Everything's going so great.